So you talk about price, and I'll take your calls, but this guy, there's no denying how great he is as a pitcher. There's no denying his numbers in a regular season. There's no denying the numbers at Fenway, where he's pitched better than anywhere else, it would appear. But his postseason numbers are staggering. 0-7 as a starter in the playoffs with a 5.27 ERA. In the regular season, he allows a home run every 42 at-bats. In the postseason, he allows one every 21 at-bats. And then that's the ERA skyrocketing right there. $217 million over 7 years for a guy that wins a bunch of regular season games. Fans in Boston, like, after the suffering that they've gone through with that baseball team over the years, and then they finally win championships, do you think they're interested in regular season wins or more championships? Do you think they're interested in rings or in June victories? What, a Patriots Day win? Is that what you're after? Or are you after world championships? Like, Boston likes to win titles. Boston is satisfied now only with titles for the Pats, for the Red Sox, for the Bruins. They've all tasted championships. Why would they settle for anything less? His regular season record means nothing to these people. They're going to pay this guy $30 million like 4 times and $32 million 3 times. You heard me. I mean, the numbers they're outrageous. But you know what? That's the way it is anymore in baseball. I mean, when we saw Kershaw's deal, did anyone collapse and stop breathing? It's just another high-priced contract for professional sports. I'm not surprised anymore at all with anything that they give baseball players. I already said they're going to give Greinke more than they gave Price. And I'm not going to deny, I already had a tweet that some guy said, listen, we win rings in San Francisco. We don't care about the weather. You're right. There's no denying that either. It's been so long in blue down in SoCal, they can't even remember 88, whatever the hell it was. All I know is, like I said, if I'm a pitcher, now I'd rather win rings too, but for $245, $250 million, I'll sit in SoCal and go surfing every day in 80-degree weather as opposed to pitching when it's 48 degrees outside and a 25-mile-an-hour knot wind in your face. I don't care that it's not Candlestick anymore. It's still freezing ass at AT&T. There's no difference. I mean, there is a difference in where it is and how it was colder at Candlestick, for sure. But it's just flat out cold and rainy and windy in San Francisco, no matter where they play that game. If it's down at Candlestick at like the old days, or if it's in the city at that ballpark. It's a great ballpark and everything. It's a great organization. But in my world, I honestly think he loves playing for the Dodgers. And I think he'll stay there. He's going to get more money, in my opinion, than Price. And every guy is going to make more money every year. They just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We talked last night on this show for a half an hour at least about DeAndre Jordan being worth $20 million. Guy can't hit a free throw. So what if he can dunk? This is the NBA. If you can't dunk, why even show up? You're paying him $20 million to dunk? Or you're paying him $20 million to swat shots and rebound? Because you're definitely not paying him $20 million to shoot free throws. 12 of 34? Christ, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But baseball contracts are just, through the roof. You talk about outrageous. $217 million for this guy. 0-7 as a postseason starter. 0-7. He's never won. And then Kershaw, speaking of jinxed, have you ever seen anything like that guy in the postseason? That he can't win a postseason game? It's unbelievable. Jay in Texas, you're on CBS Sports Radio. What's going on, Jay, man? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. You're right. He just shot. I couldn't even hear it. It was floating through the air. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, that makes me sick to my stomach that guy makes 20 mil and that Steph Curry makes 10. But Steph Curry's next deal, he's going to make more money than anybody in the NBA. I can guarantee you that. But as far as price goes, I mean, what I want to know is what does it equate to in terms of wins? How many more wins are they going to get per season as a staff with him on the rotation? Is it like, Schneid, what do you think it is? Is it 5 more wins? Is it 8 wins? So you're paying $30 million for 5 more wins. And at 5 more wins, are they 500? Are they a 500 team? Weren't they like, what did you say they were, 78 and 84? So 5 more wins, you're still not 500 for $30 million. And I mean 30 million 4 times and 32 million 3 times. That's unbelievable to me for 5 wins. Or even 8 wins. I don't even think it's 8 wins. I think it's like 4 to 5 wins. That's amazing to me. David in Worcester, Mass. You're on CBS Sports Radio off the hub in Boston. Can we get him a fresh root beer like a Stewart's? This is unbelievable. Thanks. Right. Right. I mean, since 2013 when they won the World Series, they've had 2 last place, back-to-back last place finishes. And that at that rate, they're willing to, honestly, give the kitchen sink and their wives and daughters anything to not finish in last place. So, and I also am not surprised at all that Dave Dombrowski is willing to spend Henry and those that own the Red Sox money. He's not afraid to spend it. As long as it's not his money, he's willing to go crazy because he's in charge now of spending their money. So I'm not surprised at all that he gave them all that money. I mean, unbelievable. In 2015, only 10 of 74 ERA qualifiers were 34 or older. That has remained steady since '09. Bottom line is, anyone that made 100 million plus, it didn't go well. Kevin Brown, Mike Hampton, Johan Santana, Barry Zito, Lee, CC Sofacha, Matt Cain, Verlander. We don't know how that's going to end. And that deal has not gone well for, in terms of early receipts. And then Scherzer, Lester, King Felix, Cole Hamels, and Tanaka. In my opinion, Tanaka is already a bust in terms of the money they're paying him. I mean, he pitches good once a month? For Christ's sakes. Anytime you give a guy $217 million, it's guaranteed to come back and bite you in the rear end. As sure as I'm sitting here. Jeff in Boston on the hub, you're on CBS Sports Radio.